So today, we're going to dive into a tool that's basically an AI co-pilot for your creativity. We're talking about turning those rough, back-of-the-napkin ideas into polished presentations, documents, and even web pages in like minutes instead of hours. It's called Gamma, and honestly, it might just change the way you get work done.
But first, let me ask you something. Have you ever been there, staring at a blank presentation, and you spend what feels like a lifetime just trying to get one slide to look right? You're messing with the font, you're hunting for the perfect picture, you're resizing boxes. Yeah, we've all been down that rabbit hole.
It's such a familiar struggle, right? First, you've got to figure out a logical flow for your ideas. Then you have to write content that's short and to the point. Then you got to find visuals that don't look like they're from 1998. And on top of all that, you're fighting with the design and layout. And before you know it, you're just stuck in this endless, painful cycle of tiny formatting tweaks.
Yeah, that whole frustrating process, this predicament where we spend more time formatting than thinking, that's precisely the problem that a whole new wave of AI tools is trying to solve. The goal is to get us away from the tedious stuff and back to what really matters, our ideas. So let's just imagine a different way of working for a second. What if you could just offload all of that painful labor? Instead of starting with a totally blank canvas, you just start with an idea. You give the AI a topic or maybe some of your rough notes, and it does the heavy lifting. It builds the structure, it picks a design, and it even writes a pretty solid first draft for you to work with.
Well, that is exactly the promise of the tool we're looking at today, so let's meet Gamma. It's an AI-powered assistant that's not just about making slides faster, it's really about changing how we create and share information from the very beginning.
So what is Gamma, really? At its heart, it's an AI platform that takes your ideas. It doesn't matter if it's a single sentence or a whole document, and it just automatically turns them into a polished, ready-to-go format. It handles all the structure, the design, and the first pass on the content, so you can focus on your message.
Okay, so how does this actually work? You know, what's really cool about Gamma is that it kind of meets you where you're at. It gets that you don't always start from zero, so it gives you 3 different ways to get your project going. And this is super clever because it covers all the bases. If you're just brainstorming, you can use the generate mode to make something totally new from a single idea. If you already have your notes ready, maybe you wrote them in ChatGPT or something, you just use paste text. And for all those old dusty PowerPoint decks, you can use import file to give them a complete modern makeover. Let's just quickly walk through the generate method because it's the most popular. It's just 4 simple steps. First, you write a prompt, something like the future of remote work. The AI then generates an outline for you, which, by the way, you can totally edit. Then you pick a visual theme you like, and you hit generate. And seriously, in just a few seconds, the AI writes the text, finds images, and builds the entire deck. It's wild. And the other options are just as powerful. A workflow we're seeing a ton of people use is generating their core ideas in something like ChatGPT, and then just pasting that text straight into Gamma to handle all the design work. And of course, there's always the option to finally update that old PowerPoint that's been sitting on your computer for the last 5 years. Now, it's really important to get this. The AI-generated deck is never the final product. It's the starting line. It's designed to save you like 80% of the effort. From that point on, you're in the driver's seat. You have complete control to tweak and refine every single detail. You can change the entire theme and all the fonts with one click. You can mess with the layout of any slide. You can even use AI to help you edit. There's this little sparkle icon, and if you click it, the AI will suggest better layouts or even rewrite some text for you. And yeah, of course, you can add stuff like YouTube videos, charts, GIFs, you name it. Okay, so this all sounds amazing, but what's the catch, right? Let's get into the practical stuff, the business model, what it costs, and a few really important warnings you need to know before you jump in. So, when you first sign up for Gamma, they give you a welcome gift of 400 credits. Think of this as the money you use to pay for AI features if you're on the free plan. So what does that 400 credits actually get you? Well, to generate one full presentation, it costs 40 credits. So you do the math, that starting bonus is enough to create about 10 full presentations, which is definitely more than enough to play around and see if you actually like the tool. Now, if you end up using it all the time, you'll probably want to check out the Pro plan. The main differences are pretty obvious. The free plan sticks a Made with Gamma watermark on your stuff and caps you at 10 slides. The Pro plan gets rid of the watermark, gives you unlimited AI creations, lets you use better AI models, and you can make longer decks. Pretty standard stuff.
And here is something you absolutely 100% need to remember. With any AI tool, you gotta be smart. Always, always, double check what the AI spits out for accuracy. Because AI gets things wrong. It just does. And maybe even more important, never feed sensitive or private company data into this platform. Seriously, don't do it.
So if we take a step back from all the features and the credits for a minute, what does a tool like Gamma really mean for the future of how we work? I mean, where are we headed when the act of creating gets this automated?
I think the creator PowerPoint boy really just nailed it. He said using Gamma is like giving a car a push to get it rolling. It's not meant to drive you the entire way. It's there to help you overcome that initial hurdle, that awful feeling of staring at a blank page. It just gets you started, and then you grab the steering wheel. So when you boil it all down, the big takeaway is pretty clear. 1, it saves a massive amount of time on all that formatting junk. 2, it is an amazing cure for writer's block because it gives you a solid first draft. And 3, and this might be the biggest deal of all, it makes good design available to everyone. You don't have to be a graphic designer to make something that looks professional anymore.
Which leaves us with one final thought to chew on. As these AI tools start to automate all the tedious stuff, the structure, the design, the parts that used to eat up most of our time, does that mean the quality of our actual ideas is going to become the only thing that truly sets us apart? The only thing that really matters in the end? It's a pretty interesting future to think about.